coating strategy. We'll be taking a topic called Smart Coating and Coating Strategies for Sustainable Asset Integrity Management in the Oil and Gas Operations, right? We'll be addressing the challenges and we'll dive into lessons from the INIM and the USAN coating project. Our speakers are already on this call, so if you are somewhere very close, I will plead you have your writing materials to take note of today's lessons and be ready to engage with the speaker. So please, next slide, please. All right, so for today's MTS, our agenda would be, we'll take the national anthem just immediately, then we'll have our safety moment, and then we'll move on to the opening remark by our YP chair. Then in same vein, we'll go through the recognition of our senior members and sponsors of today's event. Then we hand over to the moderator to moderate the event. Equally, will take us through down to questions and answer series, then certifications, photograph, membership drive, and stay engaged so you can be part of the YP Energy Travel Quiz. Then will be done by 5:44 p.m. So please just stay put and make sure you don't have anything that is distracting you from this event. So we'll move on straight to the first thing on the agenda, which is the national anthem. Please, Sasimio. Yeah, so the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Our sovereign motherland. Amen. So yes, the next slide, please. All right, so quickly, we'll be taking our safety moment for today's MTS. Please kindly review the following safety precaution for today's meeting. Ensure your mic are always mute and you are not allowed to speak when you are not directed. Ensure to raise your hands before you speak. When you raise your hands, the moderator would give you the permission to unmute and speak. Use the chat button to ask your question using the C for comments and Q for questions. Ensure you can still hear the fire alarm using your headsets. So preferably you should have your volume button or your volume within the range of 80 to 90%. Then ensure you are alert of your environment in case of any critical emergency, and always ensure to stay safe while joining this call, right? So please take note of all of these safety moments and make sure you adhere to them in today's MTS series, right? So please, next slide. All right, so right about now, we'll be inviting our YP chair for our opening remark, Ms. Mwamaka. Please, our special YP chair, please kindly unmute and give us your opening remark. Thank you.
Thank you, Emeka. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the SPE Port Harcourt section Young Professionals November Technical Series. It is a pleasure to have you all join us for yet another impactful knowledge sharing section. Today's topic, smart coating strategy for sustainable asset integrity management in oil and gas operations. Challenges and lessons from the INI and USA coating project speaks directly to the evolving needs of our energy industry, where innovation, sustainability, and operational excellence must go hand in hand. as young professionals, gaining insights into practical field-tested approaches to asset integrity is not only timely, but essential for the future we are building. We are very much honored today to have with us a distinguished industry leader, the Chief Executive Officer of Mini Antoye, who will be sharing first-hand lessons, challenges, and strategic perspectives from the major coating projects that continue to shape best practices in assets management. So on behalf of the Young Professionals Community, SPE Port Harcourt section, thank you all for joining to participate in today's dynamic discussion, and I encourage us all to engage, learn, and contribute actively during the speaker's presentation and throughout the section. Thank you.
Thank you so much, YP. Thank you so much for that wonderful remark. Quickly, we'll be taking the recognition of our senior members on call. We are pleased to have some of our senior members joining us today. We hope this section brings values to you all. All right. We thank you all our senior members on the call. Move on to the next.
Sorry, Emeka, I will be doing the recognition of senior members on the call. So, with us, let me start by encouraging our, a special thank you to all our board members, SP Port Harcourt board members, and that are currently on the call. I see Dorcas Jimmy on the call, and she is the secretary of the SP Port Harcourt section. I see Iwowari Oyin. She is the YP co-chair. And another intriguing thing on this section is that I see our very own senior member in SPE International, Michael Adebiti. I don't know, but sir, please, if you can just still on the call, say good evening to us. He's part of the distinguished lecturer for SPE International. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us today. And sorry, as the section is going on, other senior members that join us will be recognized. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. So as the call is, we also have a senior professional with us, Isioma Abedimba. Thank you for joining us. So as the meeting is going on, we'll be recognizing other senior members. Thank you. And our own, let's not forget our own technical lead. He has been doing super amazing. And his team, Edwin Shinyere, the YP technical lead, Edwin Joe, the assistant technical lead. Thank you so much for always giving us an impactful section every month. Thank you. So back to you, Emeka. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to the next thing on the agenda, which is sponsors remark by our YP chair.
Okay, so for the sponsors remark, permit me to invite the company rep to take this section. Please, Mr. Anthony. So Barry.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
So next slide, Simeon, please, so he can speak to that.
Okay. We are Mini Antoye Nigeria Limited. A sub-Sahara African oil and gas servicing company. We have been there from 2002 to now, 2005. Where we also have our footprint in some of the sub-Sahara, like Mozambique and other part of the sub-Sahara. Our services include engineering service, procurement services, construction services, operational and maintenance services, especially in routine maintenance, shutdown, turnover services, assets integrated management, and operations control. Currently, we are running some projects with surplus energy, ExxonMobil, Shell, Nucros, and Space, and other company that is not listed here. So we have our office in Port Harcourt, also have our office in Lagos. So you are actually welcome to, we are happy to be part of these SP young professionals. It's something we also want to support the young professionals in areas like this, and able to share our knowledge and give knowledge pass to the young ones. So you can feel free to also send us email. These are our company profiles on our email. You can always find us on our website. We have our website there. Maybe browse and Mini Antonio, able to get us if you have any issues or questions you want to ask us, discuss business. We are always available. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to be part of Young Professionals Session 103 Port Harcourt.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for accepting to be part of this November technical series. And I hope I know that this section is going to be a seasoned one for us and for everybody on the call. Thank you so much. Back to you, Emeka.
All right, thank you so much, our YP chair. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for paying attention to all our demands. Thank you, sponsors. All right, so we'll be moving on straight to the next thing on our agenda, which is the profile of our moderator for today. All right, so introduction of the moderator: Hector Kelechi Mokocha, a wireline field engineer trainee with SEPCO. Tabel is a young, vibrant engineer with fresh experience within the upstream oil and gas sector, where he is currently being trained as field engineer. Prior, he worked within the midstream space as maintenance coordinator, where he oversaw core asset maintenance procedures and managed intricate monitoring process. He is a data enthusiast and an ever-growing learning curve for data science, all of which he employs to his work ethics. A passionate volunteer with remarkable track records of leading multidisciplinary programs, planning and execution across various NGOs. Exabels enjoys networking. So please, our moderator, kindly unmute and read the house.
Hello, everyone. Good evening from here. Thank you very much, Emeka. I'm very much excited to be here this evening. And it's more interesting that the Port Harcourt session can be able to come up with monthly series as educative as ever. Every series, I always look forward to every series because of the intriguing topics and, of course, the guests that come in to grace all the events. So special appreciation to the YP team and, of course, to the guests who have constantly, graced every occasion within the session. So without further ado, it's our event, right? So I want to see just before we introduce the speaker, let us have emojis. Let us see how much of excitement you have, even as a young professional within the energy space. I can see a lot of persons. So far, so good. I can count 58 persons here on the call. I want to have a very, very interesting session this evening. So we want to see the emojis. Let's see the energy coming in. And of course, you can really drop what your current location, where you're joining in from. Are you joining from Rome, Italy? Let us have those in the chat, and then we'll be able to understand, the demography of the persons joining us this evening. So without further ado, let's quickly just introduce let's introduce our speaker for the evening. Please, just immediately we introduce the speaker, let's have that energy coming in. This is a seasoned professional that has really put in much effort in, the topic and the team that is on board. And looking at the team and the excitement that comes with the team is surely something that we'll definitely learn a lot this evening. So I'll quickly introduce Engineer Akemu Pius, and I'll read his profile now. Engineer Akemu Pius is the CEO, the project director of Minim Antoe. He is the Chief Executive Officer and Project Director of Nimim Antoe Nigeria PLC, Nigeria Limited, with over 24 years of experience in engineering, procurement, and construction (EPC) within Nigeria's oil and gas and infrastructure sectors. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from the University of Benin, and he is a registered member of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, CORE, and an alumnus of the Lagos Business School, LBS. Engineer Pius has successfully led and delivered numerous high-impact projects, including pipeline replacement and repairs, flow line and manifold installations, facility upgrades, civil and mechanical works, and coating services across major oil and gas assets in the Niger Delta. His notable roles as project director include SNEPCO, including the maintenance, engineering, and quality assurance and quality control support services, ExxonMobil, INIM RBC projects that include coating, piping, and mechanical refurbishment works. He also led Seplat QIT facilities that involved coating services for asset integrity and protection. Finally, he led USAN FPSO that involved risk-based coating and mechanical repairs works. Engineer Pius is known for his strong leadership, technical competence, and commitment to health, safety, and environment, and quality excellence, consistently driving sustainable engineering, quoting, and infrastructure solutions within the Nigeria's energy industry. Please, with a virtual standing ovation and a big round of applause, let's welcome Engineer Akemu Pius. The floor is yours, sir. Okay, while we're having Engineer Akemu Pius on board, please, if you have any if questions are coming in, kindly drop them in the chat. We'll pick them from there. Immediately after the session, we also have the questions and answer session. So we want you to really be on board to have these questions answered, right? So it's important that you share them on the chat. But if you cannot be able to share them on the chat, make sure that you're able to be available for your questions to be answered. Engineer Pius, please, the floor is yours, sir. Guys, let's have a round of applause for him, please. Let the emojis keep coming. Let's see the excitement. This is our event. Engineer Pius, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy and proud to be with you on this August occasion. Thank you very much for providing this platform. It's a noble platform for knowledge sharing and networking with future leaders in the oil and gas sector and nation builders. Today, I'll be sharing with you, I would like to share my screen. Window. I want to share the screen. Just a minute, it's coming up. Where's the window? No, share.
Okay, Simeon, I think you have to make him a co-host. I can't see him as co-host. You have to make our speaker a co-host, Simeon.
I'm trying to share my screen with you.
He's the co-host.
The co-host. So you can slide.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you can see the screen. Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay.
We can see it.
So today, basically, we'll be talking about strategic coating, smart coating strategy for sustainable asset integrity management in oil and gas operation, challenges, lessons learned from INIM and USAN projects. That will be basically what we'll be talking about. Now, we have a roadmap to this presentation. What is the rationale for asset integrity management? Corrosion mechanism in offshore and gas assets. advanced and smart coating solution. Then we now go to the main topic, INIM and USAN, scope and deployment, key challenges encountered, lesson learned, and emerging technologies, conclusion and recommendation. Yeah. So first, we need to understand, what do we mean by asset integrity management? What are we actually trying to do? You know, this we can actually put into two forms: project management and asset performance management. When we mean project management, the overall activity involved in the asset, how do we want to manage it? Two things. The first thing that comes to mind is safety and reliability. We want the asset to be safe and reliable. We want an efficient and to experience less downtime. Also, we are in a competitive market, in which case strong business performance and low cost is of essence, while we experience few or no equipment failure. So, asset performance with relation to business. I'm just trying to give you a rundown of what are the index that we look out for. Why do we have to do asset maintenance? We want the asset to perform excellently. What are the things to look out for? Workforce enablement, decision support, collaboration tools, workflow. Ultimately, what do we look out for? Profitability. Why we engage mainly to ensure that the asset is safe and the people that work there, they go home safely. Also, as a team, we have the responsibility to take care of our environment. We have no other place to go. So social responsibility in terms of emission control, carbon footprints, and meeting up what the regulatory requirements, both locally and internationally. For local, we are talking about what the NUPRC regulation speaks to about asset management. How do we keep the asset safe? Just to deviate, nature has its own way. Generally, anything you leave unmanaged, nature comes and crushes it naturally on its own. So how do you maintain all these infrastructures? That's why we now come to how the asset is maintained. There are 4 key parameters that we'll be looking at. Focus on equipment performance, ensure physical assets continue to fulfill their intended needs. Once the assets continue to perform excellently, then there is reward for the stakeholders, for the asset holders, and for the nation as a whole. Nigeria is basically an oil producing country. The income of the 200 million and above people depends primarily on income from oil for now. Then how do we do that? We have to have improved equipment performance. As you leave the equipment from time to time in the conditions where they work, they can continue to deteriorate. How do you make sure they are working properly? That means you have to put things in place to make sure the asset is in shape. Doing all this is not for charity. You have to perform this in a cost-effective manner so that you still be competitive. People produce oil all over the world, in various Saudi Arabia, and everybody has different challenges that they face. Ours from the Niger Delta is quite different, so we have to make sure that the cost of doing this is within budget and is competitive. That brings us to another topic, which is, what are the objectives of asset maintenance? What do we plan to gain by carrying out asset maintenance. One, we reduce unplanned downtime. Once you have a downtime, you have a lot of facilities going down, a lot of costs, both human, leased equipment, commitment to delivery. Also, you can have extended machinery lifespan, which means the lifespan of the facilities on board can serve for longer period when they are properly maintained, other than when they are left undone. We can reduce cost of repair, improve reliability, and reduce downtime to minimize equipment damage and repair. That brings us to closer to the topic that we really desire to talk about: corrosion. The whole essence of today's presentation is all about corrosion. How do we manage corrosion? So we need to understand, what does corrosion mean and how do we come about corrosion? In simple terms, corrosion is the gradual deterioration of material, typically metals, caused by chemical or electrochemical reactions with the environment. One key factor that comes to mind when it comes to corrosion is that the environment plays a big role in corrosion. Then also the process of deterioration and destruction and consequent loss of a solid metal attacked by its environment at its surface. If you really look at it, all what corrosion means is the interference between our equipment, our structures, our facilities, and the environment. We can't run away from the environment. So we have to take care of what is going to degrade the facility, which is corrosion. Having this in mind, I know many of you understand the chemistry of corrosion, oxygen attacking a metal surface and finding oxidation. The primary thing is nature on its own wants all metals to be stable. That's why they want to get them oxidized. If they get them oxidized, they return back to a stable state and they get destroyed and damaged. So why do we have to control corrosion? As a strategy, as a maintenance strategy. Corrosion control is actually a maintenance strategy that can increase the lifespan of our facility. The table here generally just shows us the various categories of maintenance and what can be done to them. Preventive maintenance, coating, cathodic protection and inhibitors, purpose, preventive corrosion. Various kinds of maintenance category and the purpose for which they are meant. Examples have been shown in this table. It is my belief that this slide will be shared with you so that you can have additional insight into what we are talking about today, what we are about to talk about. Because these are just the preambles leading us to the destination. We need to understand the reason why we are coming this way. I know most of you have had knowledge of chemistry, you've had knowledge of science, and you understand the basic things in the field of engineering management, and most especially you've witnessed corrosion in one shade or form. But the one we are going to be talking about today is a different type. I mean, the scale is different, and the assets that which they impact on, they are huge cost items. That's why we dedicate today to bring an insight into the knowledge we have had and share some of the challenges with you. So what are the factors affecting corrosion? You have the physical state, the pure state, position of metal graving series, nature of corroding environment, things that affect corrosion, temperature, humidity, effect of pH, presence of impurity in the atmosphere, conductance of electronic medium. Sometimes the metals that you find in this facility Some of them have some level of impurity, which means they can actually get corroded more easily. Now, also the location in which we are operating, some land, some swamp, some in the high sea. But the one we'll be talking about today is deep water. Inim is in the deep water. Usan is in the deep water. I will show you exactly where it is. So here, what are the control measures? How do we prevent corrosion? We can create a barrier protections, superficial protection, cathodic protection, alloy formation. Alloy formation takes place maybe at the initial part when you are planning the plant on its own. You look at various metals that can act in various, that can be more efficient in the process of the crude or gas production. So protective measures, what are the protective measures that we are going to do? Modifying the environment, that's maybe very little. Corrosion inhibitors, perfect. Metallic coating and electroplating. So here you have a pictorial view of what corrosion looks like. Sometimes when you see the picture, you can appreciate what we are trying to do. You can see how nature has come into contact with this set of pipelines and tanks and the effect on the material, on the pipes, on the substrate. You can see a gas leaking out into the environment. This could be hazardous, could cause flames and fire. You can see sometimes crude coming into the environment, all because of corrosion. We're just trying to make you have a picture at the back of your mind what corrosion looks or feels like. Here's just a progressive picture to show you how it affects various equipment as well, and pipings, steel structures, structural members. Why do we have to mitigate against corrosion? Why? The reason is so obvious. The cost implication of corrosion in the oil market is very high. I think these statistics, we got it from Grand Viewer Research, so we give them the credit for providing us this information and of what had been happening in the past from 2020 and their projection up to 2030. These are indicators why we need to go and protect these assets against corrosion. So today's main topic, we are just getting closer. We're getting closer to where we are going. Like I said earlier, all those ones are preambles to lead us to say, okay, what are we trying to talk about? Why do we have to do all this thing? Why is this kind of process? Why is it necessary? Then how come? Why is it costing so much? We've seen that the cost implication runs into millions or billions of dollars, according to the research that we have that has been done. So today, basically, we'll be talking about smart coating solution models, the challenges that we have faced, and how we have been able to overcome them in a little way. So, classification of corrosion. Classification of coating, sorry. You have all these academic works to show you how coating is done. Metallic coating, hard face coating, non-metallic coating, chemical conversion. All these thermal spray depends on what kind of metal you are trying to protect and the environment. You can choose from this array of methods. And this is supported by the specification in the DEP or the coating specification that you might require for that particular environment. And to carry out the work on its own. So, where are we talking about? We're talking about Ulsan. Ulsan, as you can see from the slide, is in the deep water in the Gulf of Guinea, located in deep block OML 138, about 100 kilometers off the coast of Nigeria in the Gulf of Guinea. And it's an FPSO with water deep, 750 to 800 meters. It's a joint venture between Chevron, China National Oil, ExxonMobil, Total. It was discovered in 2020 and brought online in February 2012. That is the location that we'll be talking about. It's in the middle of the sea, deep water, and it has a lot of environmental factors that affect the structure there. Unlike Ulsan, Inim is a little bit closer to the shore. It's offshore, it's not so deep in water, it's OML 67. It's a very small platform, very small platform, not so big. And the field uses a production platform, operates by mobile producing, sorry. So you can see Ulsan field offshore environment. This is a picture of how Ulsan looks like. This is exactly how the platform looks like in real life. If you go to Ulsan, you will see it. Although what you see here is a very nice picture of it, and some of it, because of the environment where it is located, has undergone some relative corrosion. Ulsan field favors corrosion. Why? It's in the deep water, high salinity. I mean, you can see the wave of the ocean beating on the body of the FPSO, impacting on it with high wind speed, as production keeps going on, as the pipes keep expanding and all the facility keeps expanding and contracting due to temperature changes. Just imagine a small piece of paint falling off a particular pipe, small piece of paint, after just a little bit of vibration. What happens? It traps oxygen. From one spot, it starts to corrode. Despite the effect of what is going on internally in terms of production, all the sand, silt, whatever is passing through the production facility. This, because of the various expansion and contraction of various facilities, you can have some little bit of crack along the structures, piping, physical structures. From there, the corrosion starts. Even the impact of the wind on the body of the FPSO can be abrasive. After a continuous period of time, you start seeing the paint wearing out gradually until the metal surface is exposed. So we have heavy metals in different parts, and the relative humidity, rainfalls, and all these ones contribute to the effect of having corrosion taking place in this wonderful facility that produces about, for now, 70,000 barrels of oil per day, with hope of increasing it to 200 and something thousand barrels of oil per day. You can imagine. There's also attached to this facility is an SBM. That's a floating platforms where the tankers come to load. Also, it's part of the unit connected by umbilical cords that delivers finished crude to it when they want to do offtake. That one also experiences some level of corrosion that requires maintenance. Because of this, we're contracted in August 2021 to see how this asset's integrity can be maintained. One, because there are regulation of class, there has to be class maintenance for this facility. Also, to maintain some of the structures that are already giving way. Some of the pipes, as the time goes on, they keep expanding. They have some, they rupture. They have to do coating, pipe, quick wraps, bringing some epoxy materials to arrest some of these leakages. Hence, a contract was put in place to see how this wonderful and beautiful facility can be maintained in 2021. We are still on that platform working. It might surprise you that the challenges of the facilities are just mere human challenges, that day-to-day challenges. So one of the first things is the technical team had to review the coating material that is required for each section, maybe international paint, in some epoxy paint, and also they came up with some high insulation paints like ion paint, mass coat, humidor paint. All these paints have specific job and they can do specific things. There are some paints that you use under what we call CUI, corrosion under insulation. Some materials corrode even when they are insulated. There are some facilities, some piping that, the temperature goes during production, there are high temperature pipes or facilities. That temperature is always very, very high. So they need special paint or special coating materials to address the need of that particular facility. Also, you have some stainless steel there. During the production of this facility, some class of stainless steel that were used, they were mainly not the top level grade, so they have some level of corrosion affecting them. There's another class of maintenance that is called passivation, which is used for stainless steel coating and this thing. So, in a nutshell, the materials to be used has to be specific to each of the modules that needs attention. So you can't use a general paint for everything. There's some corrosion under insulation, there's passivation, there's nickel, this thing. So it comes in various shades, and that is for the engineering department to actually give direction into that. Once a test procedure is taken, is accepted or rejected, then the process of applying such materials come into play. That takes us to the core of our experience in USAN. What were the challenges in both fields? Like I mentioned earlier, corrosion is basically as a result of weather interfering with metals, trying to degrade them. We've defined them earlier. So environmental factor is a lot of rainfall. There's a lot of stormy situation. I've explained earlier how, just to have at the back of your mind, what can trigger corrosion. Then we've also talked about material selection. That's for painting. Now, we also have, if you take a look at, I'll show you pictures later, at the various units in the FPSO. You have some steel structures that are about 3 meters high. They are out of deck area. They have various corners that you have. I will show you, you'll see the pictures later, that, you need to address coating in all those challenging areas where access is a problem. When you mean access, how do you get to a structure that is overboard? How do you paint the heli deck? How do you paint the under deck of the heli deck? So procedures has to be agreed upon, which was one of these things. Sometimes you might choose a paint that before you deliver the paint, where you keep your equipment and where the paint is going, before the paint gets there, it has meet its curing time. It will cure along the line, and you can't suspend your equipment. You can't suspend your LS machine, or your compressor is somewhere in the deck area where you have to lay hoses, and then your painting equipment is somewhere else. Before you get the paint to the desired substrate, sometimes it's caked. So that was one of the challenges. And then we have other people working on the platform as well. So if you erect scaffold, you must you could have blocked all the access way and all this thing. That brings to mind what kind of technique you can use. You can use rope access. Rope access is a means to get to where the repairs to be done. However, how many people can stay on a rope and still be balanced with the wind speed and maintain a steady hand to get the coating done? That is one major challenge, you know? And also the requirement to get that particular skilled man to that position and make him do, even it might be a 30 minutes job, he's battling wind, he's battling point of anchorage, and he's also trying to keep a steady hand to make sure the work is done to specification, quality assurance is maintained, good aesthetics. Those are one of the problems there. We found out that even if you had skilled people, to get them trained, which normally in Port Harcourt, you just see everybody running to this thing, I want to go and get rope access training. They go there, get rope access training, they can't even get a steady hand to spray the paint. Some of them, they don't have that knowledge enough to be able to read through the material specification, how to apply the particular paint in question to the substrate. Training is a whole lot of problem, and getting the people to get the job done, it's a lot of, we had a lot of issues. But by and large, what we did was we had to invite so many painters, test their literacy level. Also, we brought in some experts to come and train them on how to use the equipment, how to manage the equipment. We once had, let me just digress a little, we once had a painter who got tired and left the paint on the line. The whole pipeline got condemned. It caked inside. We had to replace all those piping, all the hoses for this thing. And some of these ones, they are not available in Ulsan. They have to order them from the manufacturers and bring them here because they are special hoses that will not allow the paint congeal or get spoiled as it's trying to get to this thing. Also, we have, funny enough, which is part of us as a people, we have community interference. As it is in the high sea, so is it on land. You find out that before you board any boat or chopper to this thing, you have the host community coming to vet who is their brother, who is their sister, to go down there. And even if they are not qualified, even if they don't have the desired skill, they milk the people that are going there of resources in order for them to be able to get on board. Internally also, you have you have compromised testing processes, in which case people want to favor their brothers and sisters rather than competency in the selection of workers. You said, well, give me one chance, give me two chances, and all those kind of situation. Finally, the workmanship, the scheme, the workmanship and skill, the workmanship skill and team attitude. Now, sometimes you have a team of 6 people working at the same location. You know, somebody's up there, there's a rescuer, there's another person to mix the paint and give to him. And maybe you have 2 blasters, one is not so competent, he has been able to sneak through the crack of incompetency to get himself there. The one at the top will be saying, oh, I'm the only one doing the job, this guy is not doing everything. So sometimes you have team attitude. If you don't have a good team there, you don't really get the job done. So sometimes you have to come to the conference room and try to see what needs to be done. Also, sometimes you have the key supervisors, project engineers favoring some people, some team members that are more loyal in Nigerian context to them as against the ones that are a little bit arrogant and very skillful in the whole process. So we have basically human factors. If you really look at it, sometimes it's not about how technical the thing is or how evasive the place may be, just this normal human-to-human interaction plays a major role, and the effect, you can see it when you are there. So we did, how we overcome this is we now have to be doing some competency tests, competency assessment. We bring third party to assess the personnel over there, and then we give them tasks and targets. We do team review, and then we also have we do leadership assessment for the technicians in a software that we acquired called Seamless HR. That means you are face to face with your supervisor to discuss what your performance, your knowledge about the job, your knowledge about the tools that you use, how you know about your tools, how you can deploy your tools, how you clean your tools, how you support your team members in the operation. Without taking much of your time, there are various kinds of coating that was done there. You have the humidor coating application. Humidor is a special kind of paint. You know, you have multi-layer epoxy coating application. You have caulking and passivation for stainless steel, specialized coating with mask coat and for corrosion under insulation. So challenges and lessons learned from this, and some of them, like I mentioned to you, they are just the manufacturers, when they are doing these things, sometimes they're in a different country, having different experiences. When we come to Africa or Nigeria, depending on the situation, we have sometimes the situation is a little bit changed. Like you can imagine, coating drums was usually stored in ice based on manufacturer's representative advice. That was the advice that the manufacturer gave. Cold storage reduced coating viscosity and shorten pod life. Shorten pod life led to loss of spraying lines and inefficient paint application. This is what we experienced. So what did we do? We found out that it was better when stored in a warmer condition to maintain appropriate viscosity. We're looking at the viscosity, we're checking the viscosity. Warm storage improves coating flow during spray application and prevent loss of line. Correct temperature management is critical for achieving optimal application quality. And so sometimes, and all this, when we get them, store them in cars, we do knowledge sharing with the manufacturer and show them exactly what we are doing, what happened, and we do pull-out tests when at the initial part or various tests to make sure we meet specification. So approach implemented a risk-based coating philosophy for selected plant area, including live plant. So there are various kinds of coating. You can have full coating, you can have risk-based coating. Full blast coating means it's usually in green field where everything is exposed. But risk-based, because the plant is working and you have interface with other places, they can just choose a particular spot. It might be at elevation minus 450 or 400 from ground level. You have to condom off that area, prepare what you need to prepare for a full-scale thing, and just blast. It can be as little as just 1 square meter, you know. So there's also, we utilize spot blasting. There's a spot blasting nozzle that will take from place to place, deployed specialized spot blasting, and short-time equipment considering blah, 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 blah. So for corrosion under insulation, this is corrosion of high temperature facilities. Some of these facilities, some of these structures have temperatures as much as 200, 250 degrees centigrade, in which case we have to use special paints like mask coat for all this kind of this thing. They don't actually require too much surface preparation that's like the detailed RBCs, risk-based one. Surface preparation according to manufacturer's specification is a little bit less. And it's a very effective paint. So here pictorial view, you can see the men fully geared up, trying to fix a structure at the top of one of the modules in Usan there. These are our team members working in that height. You can see some of the valves that have been well painted there. You know, that's homemade up paint for you. You can see how somebody can be upside down using a roller to paint a steel structure at the bottom of it. His experiences is quite different from the man that is down there that is doing his own this thing. He has to pull down some of his items for them to rig it up for him by this thing. So that's why teamwork, like I mentioned, is also very important. You can see some level of corrosion at some ends of this thing. They can see this particular area that I'm pointing the cursor to is still corroded. If you have to get there, it's a different thing entirely. You can see where the man is, where he's trying to paint. You can see various shades of activity. All this is in Usan FPS. Sometimes after blasting, you have to wash with your head upside down this way. You have to wash the structure before you paint. So it's a whole different kettle entirely, ensuring safety all the time. So most of the time, the workforce they have safety briefings. In the safety briefings, they are shown the tasks they need to do, well documented, not just word of mouth. They share pamphlets and they read through the risk of what they need to do, how they need to go about it, and how they have to perform it for each particular unit. So, like I mentioned, this is just a wrap-up. Key lessons is that material selection and surface preparation is critical. Advanced NDT coating thickness, importance of environmentally friendly materials, strict quality control, documentation and testing, regular offshore inspection and maintenance program. In this industry these days, there are advanced means of getting this job done, although most have not been deployed yet into the country, into the facility, because they need to be approved by NUPRC. You have drone technology that goes straight to the facility, various areas, and snap pictures. You have robotics that you can send to climb the whole wall, vitro technology that can paint the walls and halls of this facility, clean them, paint them, and take the measurements that is required, even as far as some that can do at the flare area. In a nutshell, what are the conclusions that we can draw? Smart coating means that you take proactive measure to do preventive maintenance, and you plan each module of coating to address corrosion as it may be in various units through regular inspection, through teamwork, quality selection of personnel, training of the right personnel, and making sure there is adequate sufficiency of personnel. Sometimes, if you have only 1 or 2 skilled workers, you can find that as you need them in Usan, somebody is also looking for that person in ERA, and they can just be so volatile. They are like, some come as much as they want to stay after 2 weeks. They are calling that they want to get out to go to a new location because they believe they are in high demand. So facilities to train these people, they are not so much, but we are trying so hard to get mostly young people between the age of 20 to 25 trained in all these kind of skill, get them in huge, large numbers, put them to test, both on land, and give them the offshore experiences. It's a lot of money to get somebody certified. Maybe about 1.5 to 2 million to get somebody certified. It's a lot. It's a lot. So strong planning in quality assurance and quality control, technology adaptation, demonstrate the high level of innovation, move forward, move towards productive maintenance and sustainability. With this, I think I've come to the end of this presentation. If you have any questions that relates to coating, which you can address it and then just speak on it for the few time. I hope I've kept to time. I try to do things in a little bit shorter time than I'm being allocated to. Thank you very much for this platform, and then I can hand you over back to the moderator.
Amazing features there. I mean, I have truly been writing a lot of things here. I don't know for any other person, but I believe we're all with our pens and our papers. Please, let's have the emojis coming in. Thank you very much, Engineer Pius. I can really tell how much of nothing beats experience. You having a first-hand experience of this particular project and really coming on board to really, emphasize to young engineers like ourselves how best we can really, become better within this field. It tells how much of value you're actually adding to the particular or the entire system. And of course, we do not really take it for granted for taking out time to really, give out such amazing content. Please, let's have the questions coming in while we give the I'll just give a rundown summary of all that have been discussed. Let's have the emojis coming in. If you're very much certain you've learned quite a lot, let's have you, appreciating Engineer Pius. Before I go on to the question, I think you started with corrosion, right? Where you mentioned that corrosion is the gradual deterioration of materials, and in deterioration of materials, environments play a very key factor. In fact, in all smart coating, all of coating system itself, corrosion is the major culprit here, and the environment is the enabler because it has to do with wanting to move equipment to their natural state and thereby making them spoiled. You also went ahead to mention how that the workforce, safety, profit, and social responsibility are the key factors why we really need to discuss this topic, because in all these ideas, the people, the persons, the materials, and of course the environment are the very key focus of our discussion. You also went ahead to talk about specifically why smart coating is very needed within the oil and gas industry for reduced downtime, to extend machinery life, to reduce repair cost, and as well to improve reliability of the products and of course the equipments themselves. You talked briefly on the factors affecting corrosion like nature, and how that we can use protective and prevention methods to really carry out all of the coating system. One interesting factor you also mentioned was the coating itself, the coating for USAN and INIM. You discussed how factors like the environment, like the people, can really affect the nature of the jobs done. Before them into various areas where you talked about coating can also be done within corrosive under insulation, that's a CUI units, where even approximately over 200 degrees Celsius, 250 degrees Celsius are being passed across this equipment, and where corrosion can actually happen even right in those materials. It's important that we all take note, and then we even as engineers, even as energy engineers, we take note of all these factors, and then we were very keen to put this into consideration while carrying out our duties. Finally, you talked about the challenges, spontaneity of material change, weather, and people, whereby even community also play a very vital role in putting the materials and the entire system into risk. I think a lot of questions should be coming in this area because for me, I think by the time we're rounding off, I'll have a question to this regard. Finally, you made mention of how that we should be able to carry out all these thoughts in simple terms, and ensuring that we constantly carry out training sessions where you put it out to us that training sessions, you're looking forward to training a lot of persons, young minds within 20 to 25 years, to carry out adequate learning to ensure that they are being indoctrinated into this particular job role, and then to fit in this particular space therein. So these are the conclusions of the topic. I don't know, I believe I was able to do justice to everything you mentioned. Very succinct information there, very needed at this particular time. I think for some of us that have been working offshore or onshore, it's also important that you take cognizance of all these information shared. I don't know, sir, would you be able to share your slide to us? I think, yeah, through the SPE, we'll be able to get your slide. We're looking forward to going through your slides and ensuring that they are of value to us even after this session. A lot of questions have been flying in. I'll just quickly go through the question and yes. So Wilfred mentioned, he said, how can someone get this certification and trainings? Is there an organization that issue these trainings, sir?
So it now depends on the kind of training that we are talking about. Is it the rope access training? There are many training schools in Port Harcourt that gives rope access training. But for coating and painting, I think I don't really know of any certified place that train people on coating and painting. You understand? But we do it in-house. We get some high-skilled, because it's a hands-on training. There's one place, one guy used to train people. I can't really name except I ask my HR team. They will be able to. I don't have that information. But for rope access, we have 3 or 4 places where they can have it done in Port Harcourt. I mean, Mochaland or Mukala, JC something. I think my admin team, they handle all those rope access vendors. So in actual sense, if you indicate your interest, we can, through our listing, we can provide you adequate information as to how to get them done. Sometimes we bring manufacturers of specific products in. So we can tell your platform, okay, we are bringing in 2-3 persons like that are going to train people on this thing. We can have volunteers that can come for 4-5 days, and then they get trained. They have it as part of the certification. These products are not so much on the street. They're specialized products, so we can provide you when we are using some of them, or when we are bringing in some of the manufacturers to come and do training or experts.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I believe, Wilfred, you are on the SPE platform, and being on the SPE platform, you're also a certified SPYP personnel. So try as much as possible. If you're not, I think these are the benefits you gain even while being in SPE, right? And having this first-hand information, I think this is really a good time to jump into this opportunity. Kindly reach out to the SPE personnel and do well to ensure that you are in sync with the information gathered, so you'll be able to benefit in this particular offer. And Anderson is asking, what key factors determine the long-term effectiveness of smart coating systems in harsh offshore environments? What are the factors that one may classify that really affect smart coat system in or harsh offshore environment like the USAN and INIM scenarios?
So that's a very brilliant question. The key factor is maintenance, surveillance, inspection, and maintenance. Once you have surveillance inspection, you can always know when the corrosion is required, and then when the maintenance is required, and then applying the right kind of paint to the substrate is very, very important. That is mainly an engineering work. You understand? It's mainly the engineering department that will tell you the particular function of that particular metal and what the vibration is, what thickness of coating that is required. It's a little bit of technical work, but through good engineering works, you can get that one done. And then these paint manufacturers or specification, they give you the lifespan of each particular kind of paint. Some can last as much as 15 years. Some will give you 30 years. Do you understand? But, some 50 years. However, the application is very, very key. Do you have the right skill to apply it so that it can last that long? I hope I got your question right, or does my answer satisfy what you want?
Anderson, I hope you got that correctly. You can just signify with an emoji in the chat there. All right, thank you very much, sir, for that. A lot of amazing questions are coming in. Nina is trying to clarify that during material selection, is it not possible to do a one-time coating after purchasing, before installing the equipment in any environment, such that the equipment is able to withstand its environment during its lifetime? Like before it's been installed, is there no way coating can be done to ease all the stress of climbing and move around?
Well, it's a wish, but it's not possible because the material itself has its own function. It's subjected to a lot of things, vibration. Nature also wants to bring everything to the stable state. Just like I mentioned, if you during my presentation, I just gave an insight of, if you hold something and it keeps vibrating all the time, and if you are very close to the sea, you see the wind touching just one speck of that paint, you can see where the corrosion will start there. Nobody can predict exactly the frequency of vibration that will be going on the FES. Sometimes you have a big swell, the thing just goes up and comes down, goes up, and the plant is producing. The vibration is, it's a dynamic system that is working. The pressure at different times passing through each of the facility is different. The beams that are distinct, sometimes they are tilted at a particular angle. The wind can hit it at a small angle and peel off a small, just like you use your hand to touch the wall of your house, you can get a small bruise from there. What happens? So it's almost impracticable to have zero maintenance on an offshore facility that is exposed to nature. If you leave anything, even human being, if you don't eat, you leave you in nature, nature will crush you. You have to keep doing maintenance, even as a person. Eat right, exercise. So for the materials, you have to coat them properly.
All right, thank you very much, sir. It's also important that, as he mentioned, continuous, maintenance. That's the key word, continuous maintenance of all these items to see that they are ever, useful. If is trying to clarify some items, I think that is very directed to your contract. And with regard to your workforce, she's trying to clarify the portfolio for corrosion engineers. Are those working on the field, are they corrosion engineers, or what is their portfolio?
So there's a certification for corrosion engineers called NACE. There's a body that certified people to work as corrosion engineers. That is there's a specification. I think they do their exams twice in a year, but you must have a hands-on before you can pass those exams. It's not just theoretically based. You have some. So yes, they started their exams in Port Harcourt. So last year, I think we have about 1 or 2 people. They have an exam that is also coming up in January. So you can get registered to be a corrosion engineer. You can actually get your certification. There's NIS 1 to 3. And they are required. I see a lot of CVs of people that are coating corrosion engineers that needs this thing. It's not just about coating. There's also cathodic protection. There's what's this one? Cathodic protection. There's one cathodic testing, instrument testing. No, not NDT. NDT is non-destructive. Instrument testing you test the electrical listing to see if the electrodes are working well on the FPSO, to see if they are properly grounded. Because once they are grounded properly, the thing doesn't corrode too quickly. Once the anodes are off the body of the FPSO and it's not releasing out all those excess listing, the corrosion also increases. Hello?
Yes. Please confirm you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I can 100% hear you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I think a clarification was Collins is trying to put up a clarification where he said corrosion is different, just like you mentioned, and it's a different tone and different rhythm. So it's very much in sync with what you have clarified, and I believe that question has been responded to. Going ahead, for the contract you hold, is it on a rotational basis? The contract, is it a call-out basis or a rotational basis? I think, would you want to answer that, sir?
No, it's not a problem. There's nothing secret about this thing. So it's the contract are always structured to be called out, but it's always there. It's rotational. It's throughout the year, except when there's a major shutdown. Because once the FPSO start, we've been on it for the past 4 years, going 5 years. We've not yet got, as we are finishing one section, another section is bringing out his nice head. So, and that is not only there, you have many tanks in QIT that are calling for the same. We are currently doing tank 672, and we are using rope access in QIT. There's another tank we're about to start. We just finished INIM. INIM platform is there. There are so many of the platforms offshore that require this. So it's not, corrosion is there to stay as part of asset maintenance and integrity. So who owns the contract doesn't matter. There's always a job for a corrosion engineer or corrosion technicians. There's always something for them to do. The skilled one, there's always something for them to do. We have also fabric maintenance with first E&P. It's the same maintenance, There's fabric maintenance with Star Deep. So it's always there. For the skilled people, it's just there. If you are highly skilled, it's there. Even the Bonga FPSO, Bonga North, that they are just starting the fabrication, they're already cutting for coating engineers. They are corrosion engineers. When they are coating the pipes, coating whatever the case may be, they are there. In pipelines, they are there. Do you understand? The only difference is that the requirement to go offshore and to stay on land, they are two different things.
Amazing. Thank you very much for that clarification, sir. So while we're trying to round off this session, we'll just run through the questions that are available. Divine is trying to understand what new technologies like sensors, drones can be used, right, in improving detecting or corrosion itself under the CUI units on an FPSO.
So there are some remote places that you cannot really go easily when you are there. Maybe you are just down before you can go and inspect something is on the top deck, very far away. You can go, send up a drone, control drone to go there. It must be intrinsically safe. It will go to the spot. It will snap the picture. You can use it to snap the photograph and video exactly what is there. Bring it to limelight instead of you having time. You see the men climbing with their rope access there. You need to send somebody with rope access to go and check everything. So is it not easier with a drone to go and, when you are doing at the inspection stage? Do you understand my point? At the inspection stage, it's easier, So, and then to paint the hull and all these things. Sometimes you have swelling throughout the whole day, but with a drone going down there to tell you exactly which area you need to go. So it makes it easier, it makes planning also easy, instead of people running up and down, trying 2-3 days. There's challenge of bed space offshore. It's not, coating team is not the top team there. Production has to go on. They are number one. Well, coating has to be there for this thing. So I can see a lot of our team members who have also been this thing. I want to thank them for their good work that they have done to make this thing, to bring up all this information and to make sure these things work. We have wonderful people working in M&T. We just do.
That's amazing to know. Thank you very much, sir. So we'll just take 1 or 2 other questions, and then we'll call it a wrap for this particular session. Amongst the DNT method, which is presently most in demand, which of and which accredited training centers are there in Port Harcourt that offer globally, recognized certifications? You've mentioned for the corrosion engineers. I mean, is there any ones for the NDTs?
NDT, I can check with our training manager I'm not a depository of all knowledge, but I'm sure they would be. Do you understand? So we can provide that information later. But I know there should be. It's not something I can just lay my hands on right now. But trust me, there are a lot of great guys out there providing excellent services that are not known to many people. So we can, from our training department admin, we can give you a list of where to go and their reviews. Do you understand? And also, people can be brought from outside the country to carry out those kind of things. We have a lot of great people out there willing to come and share knowledge here. When we go for conferences or this thing, we have a lot of great guys who are willing to share knowledge, mainly with the younger people, who are definitely not available at this part. I don't really see young people in this thing. I see 40-something, 50-something year old people. I've not been seeing. We're just trying to introduce quite young. There's a age gap in the industry, both at the corrosion engineering sector and this. So we really need to bring that to limelight.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that particular contribution. Collins made a contribution and he said CUI can be detected by small cut from rock wool, and testing can also be done from there. So I believe that question has been able to be answered. It's really been a very interesting session all through. Now, for my own particular question, sir, what is the interwovenness between what you do, smart coating system related to wireline operations, especially for an offshore setting like the USAN and the INIM? I mean, a lot of things are currently ongoing within that particular FPSO. However, wireline and slick line operations, is there more like a threat within, is there a threat for corrosion in that particular process? And how do you handle such operations? Or it's only for, or such operations are not included in your flow of work?
So we don't have wire lines and this in our flow of work, but those are completely petroleum engineering work for reservoir engineers and reservoir management. Do you understand my point? So I don't see any conflict between wire lines and all those ones. They are completely different. The FPSO is a facility. Wire line, you are going to do it at the wellhead. Do you understand? You're going to do wire line at the wellhead. If my engineering is sound, you are going to do wire line at the wellhead. But this is the facility that processes the crude on its own. It's like a ship on its own. So it has no, I've not even interfaced with anybody doing wireline on the FPSO. No, I don't think I've interfaced with them.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. Endurance, finally, if I can understand your question, you said apart from corrosion in metals, have you ever dealt with others like non-metals? If yes, in which of these forms is it preventive or protective method that is being used for non-metals? If I want to get the question correctly.
Plastic don't corrode. Lions don't eat grass. Plastic don't corrode. Metals corrode. It's metals that corrode, not plastic. I think that should answer the question. Non-metals, it's not, they don't, it's metals that corrode. That's why the definition of corrosion, that's why we did it. Metals corrode.
I believe
you can talk about alloys.
Yes,
alloys,
exactly.
The mixture of metal and different this thing. So they have different electrolytic properties. Do you understand? Like stainless steel is not supposed to corrode, but the class of stainless steel, I can't remember the number offhand. Those are the ones you have in ERA, they don't corrode, but the one you have in USA, they are of lower specification, because the designers at that time were looking at cost. Why do we have to design a high-grade stainless steel for this facility that is going to be 20 years or 30 years. That's it. But in a facility like ERA, they use high premium stainless steel. They don't even corrode. But the one in USAN, because of the class, I think it's 316 or something like that, they do experience corrosion when their lifespan is getting towards an end.
All right.
Does that
Thank you very much. Yes, that does answer the question. Thank you very much for the inputs, for the questions, for the answers, and for your time specifically. We hope that all the lessons learned and the notes taken will be useful even for future operations as young professionals. Thank you once again, and over to you, Emeka.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, our moderator. Thank you for coordinating this section perfectly. And also, thank you to our speaker, Angela Pius. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next, which is we'll be certifying our speakers for today's MTS, and I'll be inviting our YP chairperson, please, to do the honor of certifying our speakers. Thank you, ma'am. Kindly unmute and certify our speakers. Our YP chairperson.
Okay, sir. Okay, Emeka, thank you so much to our speaker for such a great section. Speaking on behalf of everybody, I gathered lots of insights on the topic. And to do us the honor to present the certificate, I would like to call on our senior member, Engineer Dr. Michael Adebisi. Sir, please, you're on the call. Thank you so much for being part of us today. Please, if you can help us present these certificates to the speaker and to the moderator. See me on next slide, please. So, doctor can speak to the certificate. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the honor. It's been a great honor indeed to be part of this enlightening and very, very instructive practical information. Let me say on behalf of the entire Port Harcourt section, on behalf of the YP, on behalf of everyone on the call, I want to say a very big thank you to you, sir, for this ready-to-use information, sharing this information, wealth of ideas with us. It's not something that we take for granted, and it's really, really appreciated. And I want to say thank you again and presenting this to you on behalf of the session, and trust that whenever we call, you will avail us of your time, of your expertise once again. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank you so much,
Alright,
sir. Thank you. Back to you, Emeka.
No need to
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, speakers. Very well deserved. All right, so we'll go quickly to the photography section. Please, everyone, turn on your video camera so we can have a quick photography session immediately. Sir Simeon, you will help us with the photography. Please, everyone, just turn on your video camera so we can see your beautiful and handsome faces, so we can have this section done immediately. Okay. Please just turn on your camera so we can have a very good photo shots.
Okay.
So Sir Simeon, are we good?
Some video are still coming up, so just give them a few seconds so that
Okay.
they can come up and see the picture.
Right, so please, let's all have our video cameras on so we can have a very good shot of today's events. Thank you.
Okay, for those who have turned on their video.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. let's go. So snap a picture. So for those who have turned on their video, we'll just do a normal thumbs up. So for those who can speak behind the mic, so you just said, once I say SP, say solutions, people, energy from the end, and snap a picture. Okay.
Okay.
SPE.
Solution.
Solution, people's energy.
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Simeon. I believe the pictures would be very perfect. All right, so we'll move on to the next thing on our agenda, which is our membership drive. So we'll be calling on a membership rep from the committee to take on the membership drive, or anyone on the call from the committee should take up the membership drive for today's MTS.
All right,
So
thank you,
please.
Emeka, for that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly, thank God, and I'll be taking the membership drive for this meeting. Once again, I welcome everyone to our monthly technical series, and it's good to have all of you here on the call. This is actually facilitated by the Section 103, SP Section 103 Port Harcourt section. And we are actually the second largest section here in Africa, and we are known for who we are, as we are SPE, Society of Petroleum Engineers. This is actually a forum, a place where industry professionals share ideas, regardless of the experience, regardless of our course of study. We share technical knowledge and experiences in the oil and gas industry, and also in the energy industry at large. We have a lot of membership benefits that are open to everyone who is actually a member of the society. We have the strong industry network, where we network and have the opportunity to get mentors with very good years, good number of years working in the industry. You get to ask questions, you get to meet with them, you get to connect with them, you get to learn from them, you get to know exactly their stories and how they got to where they are. We also have live technical events just like this, where we gather, hear from industry professionals, where they come to tell us, teach us, and we gather those experiences as well. Networking is one key benefit of being an SP member. We can't stop emphasizing on that, because that is exactly why most of us who are young professionals, these are most of the benefits we get, where we get to network and get to understand what is happening in the industry, get to have ideas that we need to use to build both on our technical skills and others. We also have free and discounted access to educational resources for most of us that write technical papers. We have a lot of papers that are free and they are discounted for only SP members. We're using this opportunity to say, if you're on the call and you're not a member of SP, this is an opportunity to join us. Our members ranges from the student members to the recent graduates, the young professionals, and down to our senior members who have over 35 years experience in the industry. Please, next slide. For you to join us, we have an amount we pay, which is 69,000 naira for you to join us as a young professional, and the renewal, which is done annually, is 55,000 naira. Then for students, the membership is free. Currently, as we speak, the section is having a discount for membership registration and also membership renewal, which we have just 15 slots that are open to members. So please reach out to the membership chair, Emanuela Abo. Next slide, please. So please, you can reach out to the membership chair, Emanuela Abo. Here's our contact. Here's our email. You can do her an email. And also Adams Andrew. You can also call. You can also send an email. You can also contact us in our secretariat, or send us an email if you want to be a part of these discounts. You can also reach out to all team leads for different volunteering committee, so they can actually guide you on how you can benefit from these discounts. The payment validates the offer. So once we get the total number of entries we want, that will be closing. Renewal is very, very key and is important for us to keep benefiting from all of these benefits that we have mentioned. Please, next slide. So you can see this is actually cross-sectional photo of some of our events that we have held or that we are still holding, as you can see. Next slide. The next slide still talks about our membership gallery. So these are our programs and all of that. Please reach out to us if you want to join us so that you can keep enjoying these benefits. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Thank you. All right. So quickly, on this call, we have about 51 persons still on this call. If you are yet to follow us on all our social media platforms, you are wrong. So kindly use your phone and go to Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and of course, we are now on TikTok. Follow us on all of our social media platforms so you can get direct information on all of our technical events, social events, and networking programs as well. So please, yes, please follow us on all of these social media platforms. Yes, so next we'll be taking the YP Energy Trivia Quiz by yes. So you have to be following us first to participate in today's quiz. Please, if you're not following all of our social media platforms, you would not be fully recognized in today's quiz. So please, for the YP Energy Trivia Quiz today, please, you must be following all of our social media platforms, right? So to handle the section, I'll be calling up on our Assistant Technical Team Lead, Mr. Edwin. Please kindly unmute and take up this section. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Emeka. Christian will be taking it.
All right, all right. So, Christian, please help us. Kindly unmute. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Good evening, everybody. Mr. Simeon, kindly make me a co-host so I could share my screen. All right, thank you very much. And welcome everybody to the November edition of our Energy Trivia. So I have dropped the link to the menti.com. So please kindly open on to menti.com and use the code to join today's game while I share my screen. So all right, confirm you can see my screen.
Yes,
Hello,
I can.
All right,
Yeah, I can
all right,
see your
thank you
screen.
very much. Thank you very much for that. So please let's all join in, log on to menti.com, www.menti.com. And if you cannot scan the URL, the barcode rather currently showing on the screen, log in using the code 55353677. So currently we have about we have 10 players currently on the call, or in the game rather. Let's give a little more time. Maybe in the next 1 minute, we should be ready to kick off. If we do not get any player shortly, then we will begin. So very shortly, we'll begin the game. 9 players. Where's the last person now? Where's my player? So please, www.menti.com, and the code again is 55353677. All right, I think we had about 11 players just now, so I believe some people are struggling with their network. All right, we have 11 players. I think it's time to begin. So I believe, 12 players, beautiful, 13 players. Please, can I see the code again? Excuse me?
Please, sorry, can you share that slide where the code is? Some persons are just
All right,
joining
it's
the
on the
call
chat,
again.
please. It's in the chat box. The code is 55353677. All right, I have 17 players and counting. This is going to be a very interesting one. Okay, beautiful. Let us begin the quiz. I hope we are all pumped up and ready to win. What is the term for injecting fluids to maintain reservoir pressure? What is the term for injecting fluids to maintain reservoir pressure? Question one. Let's see. So we have 8 people going for hydraulic fracturing. No, please, we only had 2 people who got the answers. And from the leaderboard, we can see boat is leading and followed by car. All right, beautiful. On to the next question. So for question 2, on what deep water block is the Usan oil field located? I believe we all listened to the speaker. So on what deep water block is Usan oil field located? 30, 38, 138, 58. Beautiful. It means we have a lot of people paying attention, a lot of people who paid attention during the session. So we have 9 people getting the answer correct. Question 3, I hope we are all ready. The Usan oil field was brought online in what year? In what year was the Usan oil field brought online? 2002, 2007, 2010, 2012. Wow, so a lot of us really paid attention during this session. Very impressive. So let us take a look at our leaderboard once. We still have boats leading. Elsa in second place. So we have boats in first place, and all right, on to the next question. So people should try and displace both, though, or you don't want to win. When was SPE Port Harcourt session officially chartered? In what year was SPE Port Harcourt session officially chartered? 1985, 87, 90, and 92. We have 8 people. So please, for those that don't know, the rest of us have voted other dates. SPE Port Harcourt session was officially chartered in 1987. What is the process of refining crude oil called? Distillation, cracking, polymerization, fractionization. What is the process of refining crude oil? I only had 5 people. I know a lot of people would have gone for distillation. So sorry, guys. It is fractionating. And to the 6th question of the game. We have a beautiful number of people staying with me. What is the term for the ratio of production rates to pressure drawdown? I believe we should have guys that did their reservoir in the house now. The ratio of production rates to pressure drawdown, productivity index. This is really, really beautiful. To the 7th question. So if you know you are not topping at this point, or if you are not topping, you still have an opportunity. There are 3 more questions to go. There are 3 more questions to go. What is the term for the gas that comes out of solution during production? The gas that comes out of solution during production, what is it called? Solution, not associated gas, please. Solution gas. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Oh, wow. Both, you're in third place. So whoever you are currently in third place. Elsa, you've been pushed downward. Kali, nice one. So you still have the opportunity to top the game, Mr. or Mrs. Boats, whoever you are. So question 8. Oh, that question went missing. So sorry, to the 9th question of the game. Which of these was not highlighted by the speaker as a challenge for quoting application? Which of these was not highlighted by the speaker? Environmental condition, material selection, available technology, workmanship. People have always surprised me in all the questions that came from this session. It shows that we were all very attentive. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And to the last question of the game, where we would know our winner. What is the name of Nigeria's upstream regulator? This one is a giveaway now. DPR, NNPC, NUPRC, and NOSDRA. We had 2 people pick the wrong answer. Let me believe that was a slip of the finger. So are we ready to see or know the winners of this game? To unveil the winners. All right, very beautiful. Elsa came in first position all the way from 4th place. Really, really beautiful. Congratulations, Elsa. And congratulations also to I think Kali came in 2nd place and Dr. Centipede 3rd place. So please, after the session, kindly reach out to YP chair in the group chats, or you can reach out to Edwin as well with proof that you are Elsa to collect your prize. And also, we use the opportunity to say a big thank you to the sponsors of today's game. Thank you very much, and back to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you for that wonderful section. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next, which is announcement of our future events. So Simeon, please. The slide. Good. All right, so please kindly follow us on all of our social media platforms so you can get first-hand information about future events. I can see this is coming up Friday, the 21st of November, 2025 by 4 p.m. We'll be treating data-driven decision, leveraging machine learning for operational excellence in the oil and gas sector. It will be done by Dr. Fatai Anifuwoshe. Yes, so please make sure you mark your calendars for future event that concerns SPE Port Harcourt Section 103. Yes, so please do well to follow us on our social media platforms so you can get all of these notifications immediately.
Okay.
Right, so on to the next.
Emeka, sorry, let me also add on the upcoming events. We have another event scheduled on the 14th of November, which is on technical writing. So some of us we saw that the call for abstracts is currently ongoing for NICE 2026. So we'll be having a technical writing section where we'll have speakers, experienced speakers, guide us on how to come up with a paper and how to go about the presentation. So anticipate, the flyer is going to be out this evening on all social media platforms. So invite everyone, invite your network to also be part of it. And we also have YP aerobics on the 22nd of this month, and then YP Hangout for November on the 29th of this month. So, and other YP events. So keep anticipating. There are lots of events both in the YP space and section space. So look out for our social media platforms and invite your colleagues and also make sure to be part of it. Thank you. Back to you, Emeka.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, YP Chairperson. I hope we all heard it from her. Please, let's all follow our social media platforms so we can get first-hand information. Right about now, we're taking the closing remark from our YP technical team lead, Mr. Chinyere Amuche. Please kindly unmute and give us the closing remark. Thank you. Sorry, are you on the call, sir? Please, let's confirm he's on. Okay. Your attention is needed, sir. Kindly unmute and give us the closing remark. Okay. In his absence.
So if it's not there, I'll just take it up from here.
Okay,
So
yes, I wanted to call you.
Yeah, so I want to appreciate everyone so far who have stayed in this session. Thank you for joining us to make Section 103 YP technical sessions great, and it would not have done it without you. So next session we'll be having is a professional series. Do well to, and I'm sure as you are following our media handles, you definitely get the information ahead of time, and do well to join in on time. Those who want the quiz, please don't forget to reach out and we'll get your details and make sure before the weekend weekend is over, you get your reimbursement or your enumerations. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you for joining the call. Thank you to our YP chair and other personalities who are on this group. Thanks to our speakers, our speaker and our moderator, and have a great weekend. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Okay, we'll take the national pledge before we call it a day. All right. So the national pledge, I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Amen. 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 Today's section was really, really so impactful. I believe we've all taken to our books one or two things that we've learned from our speakers and all. So do well to network with them, post about it on LinkedIn, share the good news, and ensure you look out for future events, right? So thank you all and do have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you, Emeka. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.